Welcome, dear guests. You're watching a new episode of our international discussion that is called People Talk. In this episode, we will discuss the benefits of creative society, how people envision creative society, and we can also discuss the issues of the current format, our consumerist format of society, and we can actually just exchange. And it's very interesting to really hear from people, how people see it, how people envision a new world, a new way of relationships between each other. And it's really great to have such opportunity to start talking about the envision of every person, because really we need to hear a true view and true vision of every person about our common future, creative society.
That's right, because creative society can only be built by everyone's taking active position. Everyone start acting, just like our dear guests today decided to do. And herewith I would like to introduce them. So we've got Laurita Lehnert from Germany. Laurita is a geriatric nurse. Welcome, Laurita.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for being with us.
thank you.
Thank you.
And we also have Waltraud Pospischil from the UK. And Waltraud is a vice chair of the Arkbound Foundation. Welcome, Waltraud.
Yes, welcome. I come from Austria, but I've been in the UK for 40 years and the vice chair of Arkbound Foundation. Thank you.
Great. And so maybe we can begin with a simple question. What inspired you to take part in this format, in these talks? So we can start with Laurita.
Yes, I so really inspired being today with you guys. I'm so really glad and happy that be part of this creative society, and I'm so really blessed to be here now. Thank you. And
Thank you.
for me, creative society is our chance for everyone. Yes.
Thank you for your kind words, and it's really inspires actually to hear from people how they really envision it, and also we'll discuss it back later. But now the same question to you, Waltraud. Can you please also share why you decided to take part?
Yes, my inspiration came from young onwards. I was a child of World War II refugee parents who just escaped by skin of their teeth, really. They just almost got massacred, and just from young onwards, I just kept on wanting to just change the world for a better place, really. It was just really from very, very small onwards. When I was just in my teens, I started writing letters for Amnesty International, because I just was so aware about all these injustices in the world. Creative society, my long way towards really wanted to change the world for a better place. It was something I came across when I took on a course with the British Council about creating a better world. Then I got actually in touch with people who work for the creative society. I said, oh, that's wonderful. At least there are people who come together from all corners of the world and who have the same vision. They say, we are the people we want to live. We want to make sure it goes beyond any sort of political interest. It goes beyond whatever any capitalist or any sort of monetary profits are. So it goes towards people, and we want to make a better society. And I thought that's great. I want to join them, and I'm already in a few organizations as a trustee, and I thought I have a good stance now actually to give my opinion and actually to invite others and support others. Yeah.
This is brilliant. This is just, how it should be. So we need to be active to start really changing what's going on. And maybe we can start our discussion from your experience from the field that you are working. So, Laurita, we know that you work as a geriatric nurse, and basically treatment of older people has become really an issue, because in the current consumer format of society, we can see that in many cases these institutions, rather than taking care of old people, they are rather, let's say, an instrument for making profit. And so, can you share with us your experience? How do you see it at your work, in your field, talking to the people? What's the situation?
I see it and this consumer society where we're living in, the medicines or some to cure people, especially therapy or medicines, is not more beneficial for everyone, especially for people. All people is they think is not more worth it to give the right medicine, or they just simply give a generic which is not compatible for the diseases, and it's always have interest just for renew. It is all about money. The medicines as of now is not more for direct to cure diseases. And I noticed also that life of old people is not more valuable. They are not more. They become not more the right therapy or medicines. That's why it's so sad to look at what is going on in our planet, especially the condition is, I find it is not more human's quality. Is about inhuman, I could say, because in this consumer society, life is just for money. Yeah.
Right. So we can see that there is an inequality of the service provided. So the people who can really afford, they can get a good, let's say, treatment. But unfortunately, the people who can't afford it, they are not treated, right? Is that your understanding?
It is right. Yeah, it is right. Inhuman system is what we are living now in this is in the consumer society, and must be changed. And to my experience, it's so really sad to see it, that especially old people or poor people, they don't have any more chance because of lack of financial situation.
Yeah, it's actually a hard truth, and I don't think that many people actually are thinking about that. When you live your common life, you don't actually, experience, or maybe like you can see it by your grandparents occasionally, right? So, but usually in our current format of society, people are left with themselves. And actually,
Yes.
Yeah, and do you see, for example, like the support from some organizations or from some? Is it really enough, or you see that maybe there are more personnel needed, or really a better treatment, as you say? So
we also see it, all organizations, they created all organizations especially for medical or healthcare. It's really not for people, it's only just for profit. And is not what we deserve. We are human beings, and we deserve a society that gives our life importance.
True, and we actually can see this inequality not only in the case of care for older people, but we can see it in all kind of spheres of our life, And
Yes.
Waltraud, for example, we know that you are working in a foundation that provides the opportunity for people to publish who don't get, let's say, the possibility in, let's say, standard publishing houses. Can you describe the situation there? Because this really sounds pretty similar to the case of taking care of older people.
Yes, I mean, with publishing and writing and everything, it's still like I'm in the UK at the moment. I actually come from Austria, but I have been living here now for 40 years. And here in the UK, also, and all over the sort of the continent, really, publishing and everything which comes into the media, which you get up into sort of high profile type of things, which books which sell well and everything, most of them actually come from backgrounds where people are sort of highly educated, come from sort of more advantaged backgrounds, and sometimes even you get the stories about those who actually suffer, just written by people who actually come from well-off backgrounds. And then, I mean, I don't want to sort of name and shame newspapers, but I mean, there are loads of them you can name and shame really, who just keep on putting down, oh, this devil, homeless people, this devil, criminals, this devil, whatever they call them, and just to make a stance for others to just think, oh yes, great, we are better because we didn't fall that far, or we didn't have such backgrounds. But you can never judge a person from what they are, sort of how they are. I mean, if you don't step into their shoes, you will never know what has been there. And so it's what Arkbound Foundation is about, is just to empower people through writing. This was our first slogan, it was empowering people through writing, and also getting everybody's story told, giving everybody a voice, and also empowering disadvantaged people from all backgrounds, social inclusion wherever I come from. And we have like equality and diversity sort of characteristics which are really protected through the equality type of laws we have here. And so this is disability and a lot of others, but there are also some others which are left out really. I mean, if you come with a criminal record because you maybe had a really bad upbringing and you just didn't know what else to do, or made a mistake in your life, or if you became homeless, if you came without education, if you were some victim of something and you never actually got qualified for, sorry. There's some people driving around in my street, so it was very noisy. Yeah, so I mean, whatever their background is, it can be really difficult for some people to still have a voice. And usually what we do is we just give people a voice. So if you look into publications from Arkbound Foundation and what we have done and or the project, you will see that we have people who were homeless and wrote about their homelessness experiences. And we even help people who were homeless to get accommodation, give them jobs, help them publish the books. We have books written by autistic people about their experiences, how it was being autistic, how it was being neurodiverse, disabled people. We have loads of blogs about everything and a lot of articles. So we actually just try to put the sort of the power back to the people who actually have the experiences. And we also equality, diversity, and lived experience led and founded. We started off as a very sort of very small organization. I was a founder trustee, and we are keeping strong throughout all the problems and difficulties. We sometimes get neglected by major founders in the UK, but we still carrying on, and it's great. I think it was a great. The creative today is really just something I really want to associate with, because they're also looking after everyone who hasn't got a voice and who gets neglected too much, really. So it's great to be in your team.
Thank you. And it's great to have you in our team, because, you know, it's really experience of different people when they come together, you know, this professional experience.
Mm-hmm.
We can really solve all these issues together very, very easily. And that's actually the very interesting moment. I mean, the most important moment is for me, the Creative Society, that we can, by uniting, really solve a lot of issues together, because we know all these details. We know that, for example, how to deal with homeless people, and someone knows how to build really cheap and very good houses. And only by combining our experience together, we can really find out a great solution.
Yes, and I just want to add on to Laurita, because I think here in the UK also a lot of money is made out of getting private contracts for people who actually should care for elderly, and also like people, and also the homeless people. Sometimes they just get completely neglected, because it seems to be so great for the sort of publication and for the media to just to scare everyone about being homeless, because I mean the UK has such a huge homeless problem. You couldn't imagine it, you know. I mean, I come from Austria. There's no homeless. I never saw a homeless person there, really. And here in the UK, you just see them sleeping in the street and see them walking around, and nobody cares for them, you know, and everything. So it's just like as if it would contribute towards making everyone being so scared that they just get some sort of really make sure that they pay as much money as possible just to get housed and just to get a tenancy and everything. And we have a lot of homeless people. I mean, the UK is just really terrible in homelessness and really terrible in a lot of other social type of things, but well-being and social well-being and everything. We are not a good welfare state here in the UK, and everything seems to get pushed down to charities. You know, they say, "Oh yes, just go and contact the charity." I mean, I have been working for charities now for the last 40 years, and I know the charities get underfunded, and then the government can say to anybody who is in need, instead of, "Oh yes, we have a welfare state," no, just go and ask your charity. And then if they go and ask the charity, and the charity doesn't have enough money or doesn't have enough stuff, then the government can say, "Yeah, but why didn't you ask a charity?" And it just keeps on sort of, passing the bucket, what they call here. And it's not a fair system. I believe that the fair system is that everyone is equal, really, no matter which background you come from. If you're poor, if you're a refugee, if you have nothing, if you're disabled, if you have whatever needs, if you have a big family or a small family, I mean, everyone should be just treated as a human being. And this is the main thing which I think is very important. This is why I think the Creative Society would be a great solution, really, if we just get our voice out and be louder than all this sort of media type of things which which are not that positive really for us. Thank you.
Yes, and I really liked that you mentioned that the issue for most of the things is that usually people say we don't have enough money, we don't have enough funds, we don't have enough funds, we can't take care of old people, we don't have enough funds to publish your book because you are basically no one would buy it and we would not be profitable. We don't have enough funds to build houses for poor people, etc. But the point is that we people are printing money, and in the current consumer format of society, most of it ends up in the pockets of very few. And it turns out that the root cause for this is the unlimited capital of an individual, because it causes that the main aim for anything that you start to do is to gain profit, so that you can buy, you can afford, etc. So I would like to make a pause and invite you to have a look at our first video, which is clearly describing this issue of unlimited capital.
Did you know that almost all of the planet's resources are concentrated in the hands of a small group of people? Today, only 1% of people own more wealth than the rest 99% of the world's population. And the trend is that this world's wealth is flowing into the hands of this 1% at a great speed. Since 2020, the wealth of the world's 10 richest men has more than doubled. Their wealth during the pandemic increased at a rate of $15,000 per second, or $1.3 billion a day. Meanwhile, the vast majority of the population was only becoming poorer. The number of beggars living on less than $2 a day has increased by 160 million. According to WHO, every day, more than 25,000 people die of hunger and more than 5,000 die of lack of water and unsanitary conditions. At the same time, 1% of people who own the world's corporations, banks, and stock exchanges have a tremendous amount of money on their accounts as a debt load, which would be enough to solve not only the problems of hunger, lack of water and food, but all the material problems of humankind in general. Why did this happen? And why is this situation only getting worse every year? The reason is a consumerist format of our economy, which is based on unlimited accumulation of private wealth or capitals. The world economy is growing due to the growth of huge corporations owned by individuals in our world. These global corporations become like monopolies, killing and taking over national small and medium-sized businesses. And the more capital is in their hands of a few, the faster they get richer and the faster billions of people are becoming poorer. Growing like a huge octopus, world corporations and their owners influence national governments. They lobby their interests, promoting their business, getting cheap labor, buying up natural resources for peanuts, and destroying the environment. We as a society have long had no control over what is going on. Even governments are no longer in control, falling under the power of interests of a few. Poverty, hunger, and inequality are not the worst of what this unlimited enrichment leads to. By getting unlimited wealth in their hands, they gain unlimited power. This becomes the cause of military conflicts. After all, wars are not started by ordinary people. The cause of wars is a competition of big capitals for spheres of influence, resources, and markets. World military expenditures over the last 20 years amounted to $35.5 trillion. While millions of us die in these wars, the few simply earn huge capital on that. In the consumerist format, wars have always been and remain a profitable business. This format is so inhumane that human lives have become just a means to make money. It's just business, nothing personal. And each of us understands that this is not normal. It is monstrous. No one wants to live in a world where their life is worthless, where there is no stability and security, where we have to survive but not live. Today, we're all hostages to the conditions of the consumerist format because we are all divided, silent, and inactive. In order to change this, it is necessary to change the format itself, that is, to build a creative society. A society where the life of every human and the provision of their needs come first rather than the interests of the 1% of people. However, we can only build creative society if we unite. And our key step to change this inhumane economic system is to limit wealth. That is, we will set wealth thresholds. And as the entire society, we will determine that limit. This will make the endless race for enrichment pointless. This will bring the economy back to its normal purpose of providing everyone with decent incomes and all the necessary goods and services anywhere in the world. Limitation of wealth will help us to redirect funds which are now kept in the accounts of a few individuals towards solving real problems of humanity and development of society. This does not mean that if a person has earned a certain amount of money, he no longer has the right to work. He has. But the super profits will be allocated to the needs of society. It will be prestigious to benefit society by developing one's own business, directing super incomes into the development of urban infrastructure, education projects, healthcare, technology, and science. By limiting wealth, we protect ourselves from usurpation of power, from the influence of corporation on production, finance, mass media, new technologies, as well as other key spheres of society. And this will benefit everyone, ordinary people, entrepreneurs, and even those who now own large capitals. Businessmen will be able to live without fear that some laws might be passed that will destroy their businesses. They will no longer be afraid of their business being taken away by global corporations. And they will simply stop worrying for their lives and the lives of their families. Limitation of wealth will free up funds to help implement the creative society concept.
Right. What we've seen that by limiting of the wealth, we could solve all the issues of not having enough resources. And maybe I would like to ask our dear guests, how do you think that the area of the lives of your lives, of the lives of your colleagues, etc., would improve as a result of this? Maybe we can start with Laurita.
That is a good solution, especially this limitation of wealth. For me, limitation of wealth is the good solution of poverty. And we can only do that by changing the format to creative society. Because in the creative society, ensure to each and every one of us a sustainable source of living. And in the creative society, it is capable of everything for the sake of life. And to share this to people that there is an alternative solution of this inhuman system in the format of creative society, because only in the creative society is life valuable. And also it is good to know that that creative society gives quality of life and access to the healthcare and other basic services. And there is no more homeless people. There is no more children in the streets begging just for food. And also, it is good to know that creative society gives everything, especially to the poor people. They become safe drinking water, and they become comfortable life. Yes.
Yes, it's a really bright future that inspires so much. You know,
Yes.
like people do not actually select in which family they will born. No one have selected to born like in a very bad conditions where there is nothing to eat and nothing to drink. The water is spoiled, and you just need to really go for the most, the less payable work in order to really to survive. And it's natural to understand that everyone is born equal. All these conditions just made by us, by people, and it's really great that we people can actually change these conditions.
Yes,
and
absolute.
Change for the good.
Through uniting, of course, in one goal. Yes.
Yes, and this unification actually starts, like from this understanding. When you understand that you can make it beneficial for the society, you are ready to unite with other people to build a better world. Unite not by refrigerator, not
No.
by pocket, not by money. I mean,
Unification for truly solution for the global problem, and it's only in the format of creative society.
Yeah, what else our, for example, current format can give us, right? So we already see these measures and organization that trying to solve all these issues, and they're never ending. And for example, on the forum, global crisis, time for the truth, and we see a lot of issues that not been solved yet, besides a lot of money that are being invested. And when we really just reallocate these funds to, it's when we together can decide, when we together can actually vote at the whole society, where, for example, our current money that, for example, we as a society have, where can we direct it? What kind of issues right now is urgent? First of all, to save humans' life in somewhere places with dangerous conditions, or when you can really just not live but just survive.
In our current society, this huge money or big capital money is not for beneficial for everyone, because this 1% of people they think their own interest and profits. So people suffer because this is where this is the consumerist society. Is they think nothing at all of life. That's why it is good that the limitation of wealth is really a good solution, that everyone living in fear and good conditions.
Yeah, that's right. And just imagine now the very rich people, if you have the chance to talk to them, they are not happy. They live in a constant fear of not losing the gained wealth. They need to hire a lot of security that goes with them even on the walk around their house, you know. And now imagine, as a result of the limitation of wealth that the society would approve, uh, all of these people would be forced to dedicate all of the amount that goes over this threshold, for example, to building new hospitals, you know, or to even, you know, the some society projects, you know, like education, like printing new books when we are talking about, you know, the publishing houses, etc. And so these people would then be admired by the society. That's kind of relief for them. On the other hand, if you take, if we go back, you know, to the senior houses where Laurita, you work for, you know, I can
Yes.
imagine that today the treatment is not only bad because of the lack of resources, but also because of the mood of the employees, of the nurses, who constantly need to think about the existence problems, how they are going to pay for bills, how they are going to pay for the hypothec, etc. You know, and if we people build creative society, all of these issues will be gone. So
Yes.
we can
And
dedicate the
resolve.
time.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yes, it's right. And there is no more lack of personnel, and the all people and all personnel or worker contented of their work, because um they the they are happy, because the as we look today in our consumer society, people are really in depression or in uneasy living, because of they are stressed on also it is really we see that that's the problem is increasing because of the system.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
It's like an circle that you don't know how to get out of it, get out of this really circle of endless issues and problems. And yeah, that's great that we have this discussion and we are talking about these different solutions. And because I also understand that limitation of wealth is only one possible solution. If we can also get rid of, for example, overproduction, where we can really make all of the production of our goods and everything. I mean, really, how it should be. For example, the bulb should work for as much time as, for example, the metal is capable to shine, and not only for 2 years, because then you need to buy another lamp and you need to again buy, because, for example, if we all will have lamps that work for a lot of time, then the factory will be closed, and the people will have nothing to eat to work in these factories. And that's actually this mechanism that can really restructure the society. There are really very beneficial for everyone. And that's also like a very interesting idea, that creative society just restructures how we think about our society, how we live here, how we, like interact with each other. And when it's restructured and well balanced, and we all decide on it, and then we can normally live as we should. And it's such a relief, actually. And I also would like to ask Waltraud, can you please also maybe discuss and explain how do you think of, or how in what kind of issues we can work on as society, or where we can direct the money in creative society?
Yes, there are really loads and loads of things. Really, once you're able to actually redirect the 1% profit into going into everything, like all the needs we have and everything, it will be wonderful. But I still don't know how you actually are able to do it. I'm really supportive, and I hope I can support it through all the organizations I'm working for, and also through Arkbound Foundation. And we are to give people a voice, and also to approach them directly and give them a voice. Let them get published through our um, foundation without having to pay anything. If they are sort of homeless, if they come from some background where they can't even afford anything, we would still go and get it published, and we do it through as a charity. Yes, this would be one of the great solutions, one of them that sort of more and more are actually reaching out to give people a voice who actually don't have one nowadays, because if it's only 1% who are sort of high up, we just need to get everyone else involved, really. But it's also quite a difficult political and overall society issue about when is anybody who gets involved actually when do you actually get enough voice to be heard, how far up do they need to go, actually to be heard? How far up do they need actually to get the achievements through, or actually to do something to get actually noticed and get heard? So it can be just like if we keep on being like in this 1% really top people who do everything, we can just everyone else gets neglected, really. And if we keep on going in the same way as we do at the moment, where only like the 1% have everything to see and have all the money and everything, it just means it's just like, I mean, I just don't want to live on this planet anymore, really. Yeah. And even myself, but all I do is just to do it for, just want to create a better future for the people who I believe in, my own children, I've got 2 grandchildren by now, and Arkbound Foundation, all our beneficiaries, everyone. Really, I just want to just change the world, really, And I think even the people on the top say, yes, we actually would give some donations to some sort of project we approve of, but it's not the right way, If you can't just have like 1% up on the top who are in the end able to decide who gets a few sort of crumbs of this huge debt of profits. I mean, it just doesn't work like that, You just have to put power back into the communities, into people, just to make everyone equal. And this is something I really believe in, what creative societies would be able to achieve by saying everyone, whatever country you come from, whatever background you come from, whatever you have been before, through whatever your conditions are, we listen to you, and you're equal. And this is something which I value from when I was really young onwards, I mean, even though I was brought up in really sort of sparing conditions as a child of refugee parents, and they were really experienced all their problems, really, and experienced like how bad war crimes can be, how you actually can get light at gunpoint, really, and they just have to hide in a mice field just to escape and everything, even if we actually should be rescued, and you would have a right, but you never know when you have a right, in your life, and even if we are in so-called peaceful societies, we never know how our rights are, and we just have to make sure that everyone has a right and everyone is equal. So in that way, I just just really, really favor something which would be for everyone having a right, and just being like going down from the top down to the lower people who are on the lowest ground, and just make sure that the power comes from there as well, and the voice comes from there. This is the main thing which Arkbound Foundation tries to do, just give everyone a voice. And I just really hope it would come through, and we try to do everything just to help in that way. And I just really would look forward to have make Wales on better, and more equal. But I just still really worried, and still really concerned. I don't know how you're going to achieve it. I pray for you, whatever I can do. But I just don't know if anybody's going to listen. We just have too much other things going on, and it's difficult really just to get through to people, and just also get through to political leaders, and go to all leaders in any way, But I hope you achieve it.
This was very interesting. Because on one hand, you asked the question how to achieve it. And then when you were talking further, you provided the answer, So this is very interesting. And the answer is actually there. And the point is that, as you mentioned correctly, we delegate the power to the 1%. Each 4 years, we go and vote for some representatives who smile on us from billboard, and then they just don't do what they promised to. And it doesn't matter who comes there. And the idea of creative society is retaining the power on us people. As you correctly said, that we people need to keep the power and not delegate it to someone else, And this is the entire concept of creative society, that on a voting or electoral platform, we people will be deciding of all of the legislation, etc. And the politicians, they will be merely let's say, managers who will be materializing what we people approve. And this can be done pretty smoothly in accordance with all of the legislations. Just imagine that in your country, in the UK or whatever, in Germany or in any other country, 50% of people unite around this one common idea that we are fed up living in consumer format of society, and we want to live in another world. We want to live in a world where human life has the highest value, and this is what unites us. And these 50% of people select a candidate who will go for the elections, and obviously, if supported by 50% of people, he will win the elections. And this is the first milestone out of 3 in building creative society. Okay, once won the elections, then we can come to the second stage, which is creation of electoral platform and implementation of 8 foundations into the constitution of the country, And then if this happens in more and more countries, then we can have a world referendum that we would like to stop the consumer format of society and switch to creative society. These are 3 pretty easy steps, assuming that we people are able to unite around this one common idea. And so does this answer your question, how we can achieve it?
Yes, it answers the questions that there's a great progress, and there's a great project really right on, spot on. But I just always, I was born in the 60s, and I know how many problems we had right through, and I just keep on seeing all these problems coming up, because somehow political leaders from all sides, whether they're more capitalist, communist, or whatever you call them, they don't like any the people coming together. They just want to say, no, this is what we say. Now you obey us, and otherwise the others are the enemies, and we are your friends. And I just think it's very difficult for people actually to get together under all these circumstances. It's like throughout the world. most people, a lot of people live with fear, a lot of people living oppressive political situations and think they either have to be A or B, and they can't just come together as one word and one people and a creative society. And I really hope for it. I just try to do my best and work towards it. But I just have seen so many obstacles right through history, really, because I did a lot of history, philosophy, and everything right from the over the last few thousand years, and it just always keeps on being like on the same level. People actually want to be nice and friendly and have communities and be and so on, but then there's always some leaders who say, oh no, either you're A or B, and I don't know how we are going to solve it now. I mean, we have more expertise, we have more everything like foundations now, but we also have even more problems now to solve in the society, and we have more countries who would say, oh no, either A or B. We have also wars. I don't want to mention directly, but we have wars going on. We have a lot of really, really serious conflicts at the moment. So how we're going to solve them all, just to get people to have a platform where they can actually come together. This is something I'm really, really worried about, and I mean, and I really hope we're going to achieve it, and I will do my best towards it. But I still I still want to make sure that we have to take everything in consideration, and I really hope that we're going to be able to approach leaders throughout the world, throughout everything, political leaders, economical leaders, and everyone really just to join up with us.
Yes, and I would just like to add shortly that, for example, what your organization does is a really valuable thing, because today people have lost trust. They see that they have voted for someone, but something else happens than what they have voted for. So the people have lost trust, and organizations like yours, for example, who give the opportunity to voice the people their let's say opinions, etc. This helps the people to obtain the trust again. And once this is done, once we obtain the trust in us that we people really, I as a person matter, you as a person matter, we all matter, then this is a good fundament, for this active position based on which we can build this creative society. Do you agree?
Yes. Yes, Arkbound Foundation is really very open to include a lot of other projects, a lot of other voices, and we are keeping out. We came up from really disadvantaged, very small backgrounds, and we are now opened up to being like worldwide recognized. We had a big impact in COP26 last year as well, and a lot of impact on a lot of environmental projects throughout the world now, and everything, and also on peace and on conflicts and on refugees. I mean, you name it, and we are always open. I mean, everyone can come and approach us. We're still a small organization, so sometimes it might be in the end, if we get a few thousand emails in the next few minutes, I might have to pick up half of them, but I wouldn't have time for it. But still, we're still a small organization, but we're reaching out, and we would really welcome everyone, really. And we have a lot of platforms as well, like social media platforms, also 4 websites now: Arkbound Foundation, Arkbound Publishing, Arkbound AC UK for our blogs related to research. I put out some blogs myself about psychoanalysis, and the other blogs about the destruction of the world with recycling and other things. And then we have another blog now, another website now doing with our Arkbound organization, where people can put up actually projects they want to get nominated and get funded through our Arkbound, which is like a crowdfunding type of projects where you can actually put up your own project or your own book, and you get everything comes to you except for 1%, which we take for our charity, and you can actually fund your project. And if you look into Arkbound, Bound Found, the website, I give you all the website details and links later. People from all over the world can now actually put down their projects and try to get them funded through Arkbound without having to pay for it really and be on the take of and so we keep on doing it really, because this is our vision and this is our mission, and unless we actually achieve it, we don't think we have done anything really in this world. And I mean, as a founder trustee, it's really something I believe in, and we have a great team now. We are all really equality and diversity led still, and we don't go for profit. We just want to give everyone a voice, and even if somebody hasn't got any resources and any money, but has an important story to tell, just please get in touch with us, really.
Yes, thank you. And it's also would like to add a bit to your previous question, whether you actually asked how we can achieve it. And, it's also, when I thought about answer, we really need to understand that we as a people have power. We select politicians. We actually decide, and giving them, decide who will rule or be in the government for a certain period of time. But if we will be really, more in touch with them, right? So if they will only be responsible for implementing our ideas and our wishes, when we will be, just like really deciding how, for example, the strategy of our government will go. So it's really this idea of unification. I mean, when we together can really, for example, decide, so all right, so we will invest more and more into this sphere of science, right? Or we'll invest into this area of economy because it will be beneficial for everyone in our government, and the politicians will just implement it. I mean, this is pretty easy because then the government will work for the people and not for some interests of a small group of people. Let's put it in that way. And it's really very easy. I mean, just with this electoral platform, with this understanding that only together we can really have this real democracy where we together decide on how it is going. And in order to really be on that stage, right, when we can really be relaxed, it's just like when I just try to imagine that. So, for example, we build the creative society, you can really just breathe out and understand, so, okay, now you are in security. Now you are safe because all the problems are already back there. And now you can really, with a secure income, with a good houses and it will be a guarantee that everyone should live in 60 quadrat meters minimal. If you want more, you can go for work and just earn more money and get this house. And that's pretty easy. That all after the redistribution of wealth, it will be easy to build these houses, and we have these technologies, we have everything, and on the forum you can watch, for example, the current status, how it's look like. That already now we can do a lot of things that will be beneficial for all, and you can just breathe in and out, and then relax and think about what can you do for the society, what kind of benefits I can make for people that near me. What can I do? And it's really you can select freely your profession. You can select freely where you work, in which country, in which place, and you will find your own way in life. I think somebody will be a writer. Why not? For example, if you really want to inspire people for good things and tell something about like good examples of living. And for example, now you do not have time because you're working at I don't know, you're selling fruit somewhere, but then there will be this opportunity. That's what inspires a lot. And the only thing that we need to start talking about creative society with every person we meet occasionally or we know, and just spread this idea. That's pretty easy.
I would just like to add that we also need to understand that the Creative Society project is not your or my project or theirs project and wait what the others will do. But we need to understand that it's a chance for the humanity. It's a chance for all of us. And every one of us in Creative Society is equal. And the project Creative Society is a project of all of us, of all of the people. And the sooner we understand this and the sooner we start to share this information in our vicinity, with our colleagues at work, at home, or whatever, the sooner it will become our reality, you know. So maybe I would also like to ask you, how do you think what would help in sharing the information about Creative Society even more? What instruments would you propose to use? How do you envision this? Laurita, please.
Thank you. For me, the information, the vital information that is an opportunity given to us through this format of Creative Society, it's just simply because we have now the opportunity, an easy opportunity to share the vital information to people through our social media accounts. For example, in Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, or even in Twitter. And it's also an easy way to inform people that Creative Society is the only alternative that given to us an opportunity to live better and secure life for tomorrow, not only for ourselves, but for children, for the next generation. Because in this time, we have still chance to spread the information. And also, it is also important that to talk to people and to show them that we understand, we are people, and I'm sure they also notice that you are different and you are friendly, you are honest. They would, I think, they would curious, and it might be the way that they should also interesting to know the Creative Society. So Creative Society is really our chance and the solution on our future. Yeah, thank you.
And Waltraud?
Yes, I believe that what Arkbound and then Arkbound Foundation has done, like for the past 7 5 years, like Arkbound started 7 years ago, Arkbound Foundation 5 years ago, was actually all in the tune of creative society, really. And we all were there to actually give people a voice and just to make sure that everyone gets heard and that everyone is equal. And this is something which I really aspire. And we keep on just trying to reach out, and we have a lot of connections. And this is something which I'm really keen on as well, of continuing in making more connections, making bigger sort of impacts on the sort of on bigger type of leader, type of higher organizations, other countries, you name it, and just make sure that our voices get heard and that we get taken seriously, and that we get all the people who are actually on the receiving end, who are actually lower groups, who are actually the ones who get neglected and who are disadvantaged, to get heard and to contribute towards the voices which are here on the overall platforms, in our media and in all our countries, type of podcasts and everything. And this is something I'm really working towards as well, and I'm really proud of that we achieved a lot. And and I think the creative society is just right type of general thing to link up with from Arkbound Foundation as well, to be able to just contribute towards it. And I really hope this will be something which will get taken more seriously, and which will make a breakthrough at some point, because it's just so frustrating still just to see so many sad stories, just daily news and everything. And I just think we still have unfortunately a very long way to go. I've been working on it since I was really young, just to make the world a better place. And I won't give up, even if we don't become like the best society ever, all political parties ever in the world are going to listen to. I will still not give up and just still make sure that I'm going to contribute towards everything as far as I can. And as Vicechair for Arkbound Foundation, I will do as much as I can and just try to give every sort of disadvantaged voice make sure that every disadvantaged, or the disadvantaged voices get heard and people get listened to, and also contribute further on towards everything here.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for your examples.
Yeah, sorry, I started stumbling. I hope you don't need to get the whole clip in. I hope you can sort of cut a bit of it, but just sometimes I get a bit of emotional as well about it, and I'm not such a great public speaker, especially with my bilingual type of background.
Yeah, really, thank you so much. Thank you for your examples. And, I really understand that everyone is different a bit, and in this difference, when we, for example, someone can really participate a lot on these social medias, right? That we can just make little videos, write posts, everything, and then we can just share with our friends, with our subscribers, how we envision creative society, so that everyone will benefit from it. Someone can write books, right, and then just through the text explain it, and a lot of people also like to read. And when we will use all this method, but we can actually reach and explain it to more people, and the more people will know about it, the faster we can build a creative society. And also, for example, we have really a lot of opportunities when we just sit together and just brainstorm, when we together can decide and in which direction we can do, how we can really inform about this unique chance to change the whole society, actually, and the way it lives, and to make everyone's lives beautiful, how we can achieve that as fast as possible. That's a good thing that when we really come together, and I would also like to invite our guests to participate in a similar discussion as we have right now. And then let's watch a video about that.
Do you know that people stopped being silent? International discussions.
The truth is that when it comes to migrations and refugees, it is a business.
I saw the market where the children selling out openly.
4 days we were facing the sniper shot us and the bullets above our heads.
If we do not address such issues like human trafficking, tomorrow it could be you, tomorrow it could be me.
Politics is driving the science, not the science driving the politics.
Many people want us to stop to talk, but I say no. This reality can affect and can take your life anytime.
People are losing everything.
$270 trillion.
Where is the money? And where is the result?
This 12,068-year cycle is a clock cycle.
All these problems that we're facing right now, you cannot tackle alone.
Thank goodness we have the creative society
to choose human life over currency.
We're living in one big home, and if this big family fighting with each other, destroying walls of the home, tomorrow we will find ourselves in the streets without a roof, without the families.
From every corner, we can actually hear that it is not economically beneficial. But the question is, economically, it is not beneficial for whom? Isn't beneficial for us people to save our own lives?
We need to bring together all of the intellect, all to the science, all of the people that can actually do something.
I think that the members of creative society are the new and real superheroes.
These people already understand that we should urgently act. Do you want to become part of changes? Take action. Don't be silent. You are invited to the new season of international discussions. Watch the forum, Global Crisis. We are people. We want to live. Changes begin from you.
Yes, changes begins from each of us. And if you want really to participate, if you want to share this video, please do it. And you can also mention our official accounts. You also saw that, or you can see it here. And yeah, just write to us, get in touch, and it will be also great to see you in this international discussion. Think about, for example, how you envision, how is your opinion about how the society should look like, your personal. And it's very important to start asking this question to yourself. How would you like to live? In what kind of society? How it should look like? Just start thinking about that. That's really good, great thing that together, when we really come together, we can understand and bring our ideas in one place. And I would like to thank all of our guests for being with us today, for discussing it with us, and it's really a great honor to be with you. And can you maybe say the last message to our viewers? I'd like to reach to them. Laurita,
maybe you can start with Laurita.
Thank you. So, dear friends, let's unite together. Let's value life and just invest good deeds and participate, share the information to your friends, to your relatives, family, your co-workers, or using social media account, you can share it. And my dreaming and wishing living in the creative society, to feel the true life, living without fear, living without conflict. Everyone is equal in all aspects. That would be a creative society. And also, dear friends, we should stop irresponsible and unreasonable action. We should be responsible every action. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Laurita. Waltraud, some last words to our viewers?
It's wonderful, sometimes just having too many difficulties and having been living through so many conflicts and everything on obstacles, you sometimes feel frustrated and feel there's no way out. But it's the main thing is really just to be confident, just to be creative, just to keep on believing. And I think creative society is something which actually gives this type of meaning to everyone, and just gives this type of meaning that if you have a voice, there's a creative society also which will pick up on it and will come through, because we can give a voice to people here with Arkbound Foundation, and they can have their books published, they can have their blogs or social media type of things getting through. But if we know there's also creative society which goes further and you just have a small little type of impact somewhere in some small type of newspaper or some social media type of thing. Yes, everything adds towards it, and we are just really, really happy if you as creative society are able to give us a bigger background, and we really be happy to just work towards it and feedback into it, and just network with everything with the creative society does, just to be able to just make sure that our beliefs and our missions and visions and values, what we have, actually get heard all over the world, really. And we are also happy to just pick up on other people from all over the world who want to have a voice, and they can contact Arkbound Foundation. And it would be wonderful just to have an idea, after all my lifelong experiences of being sometimes really, really frustrated about things not going on, and a lot of disappointments, that there's something to look forward to. And I still have dreams, man. I still dream of a bigger, better world, and something where everyone is equal. And I still have these dreams, and without them, I would be lost. I mean, no person in this world should live without having a dream that we have a better world in front of us. And I hope that with creative society we are able to achieve it.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Laurita. Thank you, Waltraud. And our dear viewers, I would also like to take this opportunity to inform you that the volunteers of Creative Society are midst of preparing the next forum, which is going to be called Global Crisis. Our survival is in unity. And if you want to join or participate, last but not least, we mentioned that Creative Society is the project of the entire humanity. Feel free to reach out to us at info@creativesociety.com, and we would love to hear from you. And so thank you very much for being with us. Again, our viewers, Laurita, Waltraud,
Alex, you for inviting.
Very much. Thank you very much for co-hosting.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for inviting. Yeah.
And we are looking to see you at one of our next shows. Looking forward.
Yeah, happy to join you on the next show. Once, yeah, I keep on listening to all your podcasts anyway, and keep on linking into them. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.